Hello, it's Tim from Baldy Tim's Reviews, and today I'm about to set off on a pretty epic journey actually, which starts at Denpasar Airport here in Bali. I'll be taking a flight up to Singapore first of all on Scoot Airlines, so I'll talk a little bit more about Scoot later on, but it's an airline that has impressed me greatly. I've already been on two of their flights, one from Bangkok down to Singapore, and then the outward leg from Singapore to Denpasar in Bali, and I'm now doing the return leg of that particular couple of flights today. And one good thing about the Far East is the airlines out here use wide body jets for not only short haul flights but also on their kind of budget airlines as well. Scoot is very much a sort of Ryanair stroke EasyJet kind of airline, a budget airline, but they use Boeing 787 wide body jets for well, in today's case, only about a 2.25 hour flight. So quite an interesting observation there, and it does mean that they can put a few seats in front, which is premium economy rather than economy. I think it's only about 5 or 6 rows right up at the front of the aircraft, but the seats are really comfortable, really nice. The service is good. You get a bit of a meal, a couple of drinks, and yeah, been really highly impressed. And it all comes in at a price which I think is very reasonable. So yeah, I'm going to be making my way to the airport here in Denpasar fairly soon, but first of all let me tell you about a hotel right by the airport here, which you might want to consider. It's called the Harris Hotel, and it's just a stone's throw from the airport. So if you've got an early departure or you're arriving fairly late in the evening here, you might want to consider using the Harris Hotel. It's a nice comfortable hotel. You get a nice buffet breakfast included. They've got a restaurant. I think they've got a little bit of a bar as well. They've got a shuttle service to the airport. More on that in a second. They've also got this very nice pool which you can see here, and a terrace area which you can sit out on, all very pleasant and all very nice. And like I say, they have got this shuttle service. It is a little bit strange, I've got to tell you, because although when you come out of the hotel you can pretty much see the airport or the entrance to it straight away, the shuttle bus actually has to sort of drive about 1 kilometre down this road, often through quite heavy traffic, only to do a U-turn and come back up the other side, because it's like a dual carriageway and you can't get across the central reservation. So it's a bit of a crazy situation. So the shuttle buses also only go once every hour. So if you're kind of thinking, well, should I get an hour earlier one, even though it means I'm going to have lots of time at the airport, or shall I go on the later one, even though it's cutting things slightly fine, because that should be all right, because it looks like it's only going to be a 5-minute trip at most. Well, no, it could easily be about a 15-20 minute trip. So do bear that in mind, and you might want to take an earlier rather than a later shuttle bus. But anyway, with that out of the way, I can highly recommend this hotel, and I'll put the price down here. It should be up already here. So yeah, once I get to Singapore today, should be getting in there around about lunchtime, out of the airport hopefully by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've stayed in Singapore before about a month ago, so I'm going to be making my way straight to the Singapore Malaysian border, over the border, and tonight's accommodation is going to be in the city of Johor Bahru, which is the first Malaysian city you get to after leaving Singapore, basically. I'm not quite sure how that journey from the airport, Changi Airport in Singapore, to JB, as Johor Bahru is called, is going to pan out. I think in a couple of years' time they're building a rail link which is going to take you straight from the Singapore MRT system right through to central Johor Bahru, but that's under construction at the moment, and I think the journey currently is slightly convoluted, so wish me luck on that one. We'll see how we get on. So the check-in and immigration security formalities are now completed here at Denpasar Airport in Bali. Very, very quickly through all of that. Obviously Monday mornings aren't particularly busy times here at this airport. Had almost no queue at all to either the immigration point or the security point, and didn't have really much of a queue at the check-in desk either. So it was all done very quickly, and here I am in one of the departure gates. You can see one or two of the planes behind me there probably, and I'm well early, got about an hour and a half, maybe just a bit under that now before I start boarding. Actually a few gates up from my one, gate 9, which I'll be departing from on Scoot Airways TR281, departing 10:50 to Singapore, and I'm arriving there somewhere around about 1:30 I think it is. Yes, I'm going to just chill out here for a little while. Might do a few shots for you around Denpasar Airport, but it's pretty much like any other airport really. So going to chill out. I've got a busy old time of it in Singapore, finding my way up to Johor Bahru. Got to suss out the MRT system and how you get there, cross the border and everything. But I've got a few hours before that all happens, so I can relax and just chill out for a while.
Nomor 1B, terima kasih.
Oh, these things are very nice. Just point these out. Chocolate vanilla. If you're here in Bali, these are sold everywhere. Java or whatever it is. Granola bites. Very, very tasty. Well, Scoot TR281 from Bali to here, Changi Airport, Singapore, and what a smooth flight that was. Very nice experience. I had loads of leg room and interesting meal actually. It was Oriental rice, which was quite tasty. Had bits of sausage and meat and veg and things like that in it, and it did me a nice strong cup of coffee. So here I am. I've got to go immediately up to the Malaysian border. I've got to start that journey by getting onto the MRT system, which is down those escalators there, get a ticket, and then make my way up to Woodland Station, which is the last stop in Singapore before we go across the border. And then it seems to be a bit convoluted, like I said earlier, but I guess we'll find out what's going on. So wish me luck, and I better get going, eh? Well, so far so good. Didn't take very long at all to get down into the MRT station. So I've got to get my ticket, which is basically a pass, a one-day pass I'll have to get. I don't think they do tickets as such. You have to get these pass things, so I was told. But let's get the ticket, a one-day pass, which is 17 Singapore dollars or £10. That's going to have to do it, I guess. There you go, one-day pass, 17. So we'll get that sorted out. And there I go. It's my one-day pass to the Singapore MRT system, so that'll take me as far as Woodland Station. So now I've got the ticket, let's just see how I get up there. So this is the Singapore MRT map. So we are here, Changi Airport. So it looks like what I've got to do is one stop there, sorry, 2 stops down to there. Then I change lines, Tanah Merah, and then a few stops down to Paya Lebar. Along this yellow circular line all the way through to Caldecott here, and then finally this brown line all the way up to Woodlands. I'm not sure if I've got to get out at Woodlands or Woodlands North, to be honest, but let's get on the first train anyway. Looks like I've got, what's that, about 4 different trains to catch. Luckily that pass does it all. So 5 minutes until the first train comes, and we've got these very Elizabeth Line-esque type of setup with these doors that let you on the train when they come into the station, don't let you fall onto the platform when it's not in the station. Thought we were very innovative with the Elizabeth Line, but these guys have had this sort of setup for ages by the looks of it. So anyway, going to get on this first train, get to Tanah Merah and see where we go from there, I guess. Okay, on the first train to Tanah Merah, I think it's only a few minutes journey, 5 minutes, something like that. And then first of our changes till we get up to Woodlands. So looking forward to the train journey.
Doors are closing. Next station, Eunos.
So here we are at Paya Lebar station, just waiting for the third train, train number 3. So I got on the airport line down to Tanah Merah, and then on the east-west line to this station, Paya Lebar, and now I'm getting on the circle line, which takes me to Caldecott, where I get the train up towards the border, really. So I've only got about 3 minutes, I think, waiting for this train. So yeah, it's all going pretty smoothly and seamlessly so far. Never have to wait very long for a train. The Singapore MRT kind of layout is all pretty logical and easy to understand, certainly if you're used to the London system or anything like that. I think you will get on well with this, so it's all pretty easy to figure out what you're doing, really. Anyway, just going to get on this third train, a few stops round to Caldecott, and then another train up to the Woodlands stations. Still got to find out which one I've got to get off at though. Well, I've made it to Woodlands, and this is just about the last station on the line here, the last train and the last train line. So apparently you've got to get a bus up the top there, which I'll go and find out in a minute, to take you over the border and into Johor Bahru, the first Malaysian town. So I'm going to get myself up there and see what I can find. This is probably going to be the most tricky part of the journey, but getting here from Changi Airport, no problem at all. Probably took about an hour with the changes, maybe a bit over, but very, very smooth so far. Let's hope it continues. Right, so here I'm at Woodland Station, and I'm at the bus interchange. It seems to be very big and very confusing, to be honest with you. Goes down there in the direction I'm walking, about a mile by the looks of it, and I've got to find out what bus I've got to get and what loading bay or passenger bay you've got to be at for the right bus. So I think it's probably going to be best to go to a ticket office. I can see passenger services here. I might go and ask there and find out what I'm doing. But yeah, the buses are coming and going. Out there look very much like London buses, but slightly different colour. So, passenger service office. What do you reckon? I think I might try that for a starter for 10. So I've been told to get onto bus 950, which is otherwise known as the cross-border service, so that's looking quite promising, to be fair. And just looking up here on the board, it says 950, so I'm going to go along there. Not sure if I actually got the right ticket with that card or whether I've got to get another ticket, but I'll get down there and see what's going on. So yeah, I've just arrived on the bus, white bus just disappearing there, and they've dropped me from the station, Woodlands station, up to this place, which is the Woodlands checkpoint, that building behind me. So once I've gone through that building and done the passport stuff, I will be in Malaysia. Very busy crossing, but that stretch of water is the strait between Singapore and Malaysia. So I better stop filming, I guess, until I get to the other side. And yeah, let's go and get it sorted. Well, welcome to Malaysia. So this side of the straits, the causeway, I'm just trying to find my way to JB Central, which my hotel for the night is near to, but it seems to be endless walking to JB Central at the moment, so let's get there and then I can find my hotel hopefully from there. Wow, that turned out to be quite something, I must say. So I have travelled all the way from Denpasar, Bali, right the way up to here, Johor Bahru in Malaysia, all in one day. To be honest with you, I set off out of the Bali hotel around about 8 p.m. and I got here about 5 p.m. just after. So when you consider that it was quite a lot of, well, flying and trains and buses and all sorts, I don't think that's too bad really. So the flight was fantastic, check-in at Denpasar airport, very seamless, soon got through airside there, no problems at all, not really any queuing at all, and the flight was nice and smooth. I had a meal, oriental rice it was called, had all sorts of bits and pieces in there, and yeah, it was okay. Probably not the best airline food I've ever had, but it certainly did for a quick lunch, so no complaints there. Washed down with a reasonably strong cup of coffee that they gave me on the plane, and landing at Singapore, very seamless. Soon got through immigration very quickly, bag came through, the check bag very, very quickly as well, and then I got onto the MRT system in Singapore to make my way up to here, Johor Bahru. That was, although it's quite a lot of trains you have to get on, I think it was about 4 different trains, but each connection was again pretty seamless, and the Singapore MRT rail system seems to be very logically laid out, very well organised actually. So I actually got from Changi airport to Woodlands, which is where you have to get off to come across the border, and the whole thing took me about an hour to do that journey with all those stops as well, maybe just a tad over. But going from Woodlands over to Johor Bahru, things kind of fell apart a little bit. The bus station's quite chaotic and confusing, at least it is if you're a tourist like me. Took a little while to suss out. Luckily there's people on hand in kiosks to go and ask. So just to clarify the exact journey that you'll be doing if you want to go from Changi Airport up to Johor Bahru by rail and bus, I do believe there is some kind of train link that takes you over the causeway as well. I don't know anything about that, and it certainly doesn't link onto the Singapore MRT system. But anyway, here is the exact process from start to finish. So You get onto the MRT system at Changi Airport. You then go along to a station called Tanah Merah. The airport has its own line, and that's as far as it goes. So you have to change trains at Tanah Merah. And the way I did it, there is a couple of options you could actually do. You could also go along the blue line, but I chose the green line to take you down to Paya Lebar, where you change onto the circle line. You go all the way around to a station called Caldicott, and then you get onto the brown line up to Woodlands. I was uncertain which Woodlands stop it was, but it is the actual Woodlands, not south or north, just Woodlands. Get off there. You make your way out of the MRT part of the station into the bus section. It's all signposted and quite clearly marked. Like I said, the bus station itself I found slightly confusing, but if you just follow the signs for the 9:50 bus, which takes you up to the border crossing, that is the one to look for. You can always ask people where you get that bus, but basically the station is organised over at least a couple of levels, but you want to be on the street level where all the buses run, and then you'll see the 9:50 bus stop, and you make your way there. That then takes you through the topmost part of Singapore to the Singaporean side of the causeway, which is like a road that goes over the strait between the two countries. That bus will take you as far as the Woodlands checkpoint, as it's called, which is the Singapore passport control and all of that. Once you've gone through the passport control, you then go back down to where the buses are. That's all signposted. And then a second bus will take you over the causeway to the Malaysian side, where it will drop you off at the Malaysian border control, and you go through that. Now, as far as those buses are concerned, my travel card, Singapore travel card, covered me for the first bus to the Woodlands checkpoint, but it didn't cover me for the second bus over the causeway. That cost me $2 Singaporean. So that is a story there. And once you're over the border on the Malaysian side, gone through their passport control, it is walking distance, all covered over, if it's raining, either that or indoors. And it will take you all the way to JB Central Station if you're travelling onwards from there, or if you just want to get to Central JB. So, hope that clarifies exactly what you do if you want to go from Changi Airport to JB. That's been another Baldy Tim's Reviews. Thanks for watching.